Tonight, the wheels are in motion for a Broken Hill mine to be repurposed to house renewable energy. And Jeff Brock speaks on his darkest days following his deciding role in the 2014 state election.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf Studios, your nightly news with Madeline Kerr begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. The federal government has conditionally approved $45 million to turn an unused Broken Hill mine into a renewable energy storage unit. The construction would bring hundreds of jobs to the city. Our reporter Joshua Mercer has more.
Once built, the project will be one of the world's largest compressed air projects, providing at least 8 hours of storage. The Australian Renewable Energy Agency funding for the project is conditional upon it reaching financial close, which is expected to be completed in 2023. The $652 million project will remodel the mine to facilitate the development of a subsurface air storage cavity that will be used to store compressed air. Hydrostore will be undertaking the development with project support from Transgrid. The project will reserve at least 250 megawatt hours of storage for the backup power service. Compressed air technology provides an alternative to pump hydro energy storage, having a comparable price point and additional benefits such as a low impact on the environment. Agency CEO Darren Miller says new technologies give people a range of options for future energy storage needs. During construction, around 270 jobs will be created right here in Broken Hill, with an additional 70 permanent roles once operational.
Jeff Brock has revealed he attempted suicide 3 times in 2014, following the deal he made with former Premier Jay Weatherill. Speaking with The Advertiser, Mr Brock bravely discussed his mental health during that period of time, in order to encourage others to speak up and get help. In a Facebook post earlier today, Mr Brock also wrote, "Reach out and talk to friends, family or health professionals if you're struggling. It's a sign of strength, not weakness, to ask for help." And if you or anyone you know needs help, there are resources available. You can call Lifeline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 13 11 14. One of the Eyre Peninsula's most beloved jetties has been forced to temporarily close after one of its concrete piles collapsed in the recent storm. The Tumby Bay Jetty has been standing strong for over a century. Locals now wondering if there is a long-term solution.
The township's biggest drawcart left deteriorated, with parts of the structure sinking to the ocean floor. Now the Tumby Bay Council has been left with no choice but to close off the jetty to locals.
So we had some rather large swells a couple of weeks ago. That's caused one of our piles to drop and some other damage to occur as a result of that.
Most of the jetties in the state are owned by the government, but leased to councils. The member for Flinders saying the closure of the Tumby Jetty should be a wake-up call, urging for investment to be put back into marine infrastructure.
I hope it's a bit of a wake-up call to the state government to realise that these important pieces of infrastructure are getting to a point of degradation where there needs to be some significant investment.
The Tumby Bay Jetty isn't the only one deteriorating, with the Port Hughes Jetty also up for monthly inspections. Councils are calling for a state jetty plan to be carried out.
For us, it's about the state government having a really clear jetty plan, a state jetty plan, so that we understand what their intention and what their policy is.
This really is the opportunity for state government to put some strategy, put some planning and put some budget into the long-term sustainability of our jetties.
There is no telling when the jetty will be reopened, but council is hoping for a Christmas miracle.
From our perspective, from an elected member perspective and a staff perspective, obviously we're working as hard as we can to get that jetty reopened before Christmas.
Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Whyalla City Council hosted a Meet the Candidates session last night at the secondary college. Each candidate informing the community about their vision for the future, hoping to snag a few more votes, with ballot papers now circulating.
Candidates for Whyalla Council facing off. Last night, MC and mediator Damien Judd oversaw a public council candidate forum consisting of a Q&A session and 3-minute-long speeches from those running. The mostly civil affair seeing mayoral candidates Phil Stone and Tom Antonio clash over Antonio's claim that he was a key driver behind the upgrade of the city's airport. Stone disagrees, saying Antonio had nothing to do with it, adding that the airport was forced to upgrade to meet federal government regulations.
It was brought upon council by the then federal government. End of story, Tom.
The forum also presenting a series of fresh faces ready to stand up and put Whyalla first.
Think global and act local. Let's not wait around for Metro. Yes, we will need grants and those sorts of things, and that's beyond me at this stage, but I'm looking forward to learning.
Many candidates addressing the need to provide more support for local businesses and to encourage new economic opportunities in the city.
I believe in growing our community by supporting local business, local industry, and encouraging more to come to Whyalla.
Somewhere where we can live, where we're not going to be having to go on holidays elsewhere.
Each candidate believing their experience from working, volunteering and living in the city would assist them in representing the needs of the community.
I had the opportunity, being a manager, to work on the big picture within a workplace. This is important as a councillor, as a major role for elected members is to build the vision and direction that council and community is working towards.
Through my time at Stuart High, I was a wellbeing officer. It was very much an eye-opening career for me, and I did start to lose faith a little bit. But then we built a community where the services are here.
While some residents would only refer to council as roads, rates and rubbish, last night candidates highlighted a divide between the Whyalla suburbs, a growing drug problem and a climbing unemployment rate as problems a modern council must work to resolve.
I say that I want to represent the battlers, but I want to represent everybody.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Unfortunately, some drivers are still not getting the message. At 1:45 on Thursday morning, Port Pirie Police heard a car doing a burnout on Senate Road. Not long after that, patrols allegedly witnessed a Ford sedan perform another burnout right in front of them. The driver, a 29-year-old Port Pirie man, was reported for misuse of a motor vehicle. He'll appear in court at a later date. Still to come tonight, CareSA Port Augusta moved to a brand new office space, and the Port Lincoln restaurant, one of the best in regional South Australia. Welcome back. It's National Carers Week, as carers and respective organisations reflect on the challenges that come with the role. In Port Augusta, a brand new office for CareSA has opened in town, offering more support for some of the most remarkable people in the country.
CareSA's previous office in Port Augusta's CBD was poorly suited for the work they needed to do, hidden away and inaccessible for many people. Enter the brand new, fit-for-purpose office space at Carlton Plaza.
We have a nice big office in a pretty central area now, so hopefully it gets people even walking past and wanting to come check out who we are and what we can offer.
The office, next to the Salvos and across from the community hall, allows carers to meet staff face-to-face. The change of location hoping to expand the services CareSA provides, such as reaching out to people who may not realise they are carers.
We often get a lot of carers thinking that they're not a carer, like they're just a mother, they're just a partner, they're just a sibling, and they just see it as a part of their everyday life. They don't see it as they actually are a carer, and there are stuff out there that we can do to help them.
Carers often face some of the biggest mental and physical challenges, and peer support groups in Port Augusta are becoming increasingly popular.
Peer groups are for carers, just to have that little breakaway, connect with other carers in their regions, have people that they can sort of relate to a little bit, have somebody that they can talk to and sort of get out of their caring role just for a moment, for a little breakaway.
Over 2.6 million Australians are unpaid carers, and with National Carers Week celebrating its 30th year, it's time to thank those healthcare heroes and tell them help is available. Daniel Pizarro, 7 Spencer Gulf News. Port
Lincoln's very own Line and Label has earned state recognition named in SA Weekend's Delicious 100 Restaurants. The award-winning dining experience continues to plate some of South Australia's best foods, while putting regional cooking back on the map.
Serving up some of the region's finest cuisine. Now, Lion and Label have been recognised as one of the best regional restaurants in the state.
But it is quite an achievement. Like the Delicious 100 came out for all of South Australia, we're number 40 in there. And then of that, in the regional South Australia, we're number 15. So, they're nice little things that happen.
Head chef Mark Jensen attributing the restaurant's success to his staff.
It's not just the kitchen, the floor have really come a long way, and they really hit their straps at the right time. The kitchen, we've bonded about a few different things.
The restaurant always freshening up the menu, offering diners a unique tasting experience. Now entering the spring months, ingredients from the restaurant's veggie garden are also making their way to the plate.
We draw on that for everything from our garnishes to our sauces, to our fruits, to our chutneys for cheese plates up at Celador. Just did a menu change a couple of weeks ago. We'll be doing another one. We like to move them pretty quick.
Lion and Label proving once again that the finest foods aren't always found in the city. Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Golf News.
The University of South Australia hosted students at the Whyalla campus today as part of the uni's STEM innovation experience. The students from Whyalla's Samaritan College and Port Augusta Secondary School travelled to the campus today to participate in a series of engineering activities. Focusing on developing skills in science, math and technology, the activities were designed with fun in mind. The students' work was then evaluated with rewards presented. Stay with us after the break. Former NRL players head to Broken Hill to talk faith and sport. And Port Augusta locals take to the streets to help raise awareness about alcohol addiction. Welcome back. Dozens of townsfolk turned up to Port Augusta today to participate in the Sober Walk. The event calls for action against alcohol and drug abuse, offering services for those who need them.
Port Augusta's Gladstone Square was home to hope and assistance today for the 2022 Sober Walk. With the slogan, "Believe you can and you are halfway there," the encouraging words of the day. Organised by the Aboriginal Drug and Alcohol Council, the Sober Walk moved through Port Augusta's CBD, cheered on by onlookers. Alcohol abuse is one of the main catalysts for Port Augusta's antisocial behaviour problems, accumulating in dry zones and alcohol sale restrictions.
Part of the problem for Port Augusta is a central sort of location, so people do come here for a whole variety of reasons, right? But there is a lack of social housing, there's a lack of opportunity for people, and unfortunately sometimes that can mean that people, might get caught up in a drug and alcohol cycle.
Local health services offered vaccinations for COVID and the flu, as well as promoting healthy eating ahead of World Diabetes Day next month.
There's a lot of agencies in Port Augusta and we're all trying to work together to try and engage with families, those that are struggling at the moment, whether it be with alcohol, whether it be with overcrowding, whether it be financial challenges.
Tackling the problem one step at a time. Daniel Pizarro, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Former NRL players Charlie Tonga and Mickey Payer are currently touring the Far West with Impact Church and sharing their stories. The pair, along with former Socceroo Jerry Gomez and church members, stopped into the Broken Hill PCYC to have a chat with locals.
Getting to know the kids of the Far West, inspiring them to be the best they can be. That's the message from the former Stars, no matter the path they're on.
Just something you just say can trigger them and inspire them to pursue, whether it's football, being netball or whatever sport it is, or even a job.
Mr. Tonga has been to the Far West 3 times and enjoys each visit, saying it reminds him of his home country.
I just love coming to things like this, like Broken Hill, Wilcannia, Whitecliff, Minden the other day, Menindee, and it just reminds me of being in Tonga, where I come from. It's a very small community.
For Mickey Payer, it's his first trip out to Broken Hill and surrounds. He has enjoyed passing on his knowledge about rugby league and interacting with the community in each place.
We teach them a bit about what we do, what we got to do during our careers, myself as a rugby league player, and get to give a little piece of what we did to these young kids.
The school clinics in Wilcannia were especially eye-opening for the former Tongan international player.
We got to immerse ourselves in the community, speak to some locals and some elders, and got to just see the heart of Wilcannia and their people, which was great.
Impact is running a sports and mental health clinic at Picton Oval this Saturday. Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
1 in 3 people in Port Pirie will need blood in their lifetime, and now is your chance to contribute. The van is back and will be parked at the Port Pirie Aquatic and Leisure Centre next week, Monday through to Thursday. It's as easy as rolling up your sleeve. But don't forget to pre-book your spot at lifeblood.com.au. Stay with us after the break. Will they or won't they? Wet weather conditions threaten to cancel this weekend's regional cricket games. And we'll have all the weekend weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. Weather permitting, cricketers are set to play on this weekend in round 2 of the local leagues. First up, here's the tips out of the Port Lincoln camp.
Welcome to Port Lincoln Cricket Tips. Last week saw a really big win for Charlton over Todd River, and Waitbacks just go narrowly down to the Tasmans. This week's matches sees Charlton travel out to Whangarei. Don't normally say Southern and South are going to lose, but first game of the year and Charlton coming off a big win, I reckon they'll get the job done in a very entertaining match at Whangarei. And in the other game is out at Dorwood Oval, Todd River take on Waybacks. Todd River on the back end of a big loss last week to Charlton. Waybacks in a tight loss to Tasmans. Waybacks should be too strong in this match. Thanks for listening to Port Lincoln Cricket Tips.
Hopefully we'll get some district cricket in Broken Hill this weekend. Last weekend washed out and quite a bit of rain again this week. The game at the Alma Oval on Saturday looks like it certainly will get going. That's between Centrals and North. Should still be a good game, but I think North will possibly open the season with a good win. In the second game to be played on Sunday, at this stage rain is forecast for that day. South take on West. South have had good attendance at training, so they could be on the improve this season, while West have been a little bit slow on the uptake. Could be a premiership hangover, but I think they possibly still could prove a little strong for South in what also should be a very competitive game.
Yeah, g'day and welcome to round 2 of the Port Augusta Cricket Tips. This week we see South Augusta take on West Augusta at ETSA. The two teams that didn't win last week, so obviously someone will win. I'm going to lean towards South Augusta, last year's premiers to beat West Augusta. The other game seems Corn take on Central Stirling in Corn. This should be a very good match. I'm ground advantage. I'm going to lean towards Corn. So there are my two winners, Corn and South Augusta.
Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Whyalla Cricket Association and the Northern Super League. This week in Whyalla, we see Rupina take on North Whyalla. It's going to be a tight tussle, and North are coming off a really good win against Central Whyalla last week. I think I'm going to tip North here, and I think Cole Davies is going to go absolutely ballistic.
Well, no pressure, Cole. Well, time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, the bomb's back.
That's right, the Weather Bureau, or for a couple of days there, the Bureau of Meteorology has backflipped on its plan to rebrand. But let's get back to what's important, Maddie, today's temperatures. Exactly 25 degrees in Port Augusta, 23 the top in Broken Hill with some rain falling again this afternoon. Woodner reached 29 today. Looking more broadly at today's weather map, Cooper Pedy, our warmest centre, reaching 31 degrees, 24 in Port Pirie after 3 p.m, 22 degrees in Whyalla. Kadina reached 25, 21 in Port Lincoln. Taking a look at a satellite image now, cloud over the east of South Australia combined with a low and trough is causing showers and storms mainly in the southeast. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Southerly winds about 10 knots, increasing up to up to 20 knots in some parts. Seas around 1 metre and south to southwesterly swell around 1 metre. Port Lincoln showers and set to reach a high of 19 degrees tomorrow. Showers and 21 in Cleve, a shower or 2 and 25 in Woodner, down to 10 degrees overnight. Possible stormy conditions around Whyalla, 21 degrees. Same goes for Port Augusta. Bit warmer though, set to reach a high of 25 there, between 9 and 21 degrees in Kadina with a shower or 2. Port Pirie, 23 degrees and possible storms on Saturday. Showers in Clare set to reach a high of 19 degrees there, and there's a medium chance of showers in Broken Hill tomorrow. Possible afternoon storm, 25 degrees. Taking a look further through the week now, up to 30 millimetres of rain expected to fall around Broken Hill on Sunday. Stormy conditions between 15 and 20. Rainy and 20 in Port Augusta, Kadina and Adelaide. 21 in Port Pirie and Woodner. Showers and 17 in Port Lincoln. Taking a look at Monday's outlook now, rain is forecast for most of the Spencer Gulf at this stage, except for Woodner and Port Augusta. Sunny and 24 in Cooper Pedy. Cloudy around Broken Hill on Tuesday, 21. Rain everywhere else between 18 and 25. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. I hope you have a great weekend and stay safe in these stormy conditions. It's back to you, Maddie.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Friday. I'm Madeline Kerr. From all of us here, thanks for joining us. I'll have updates a little later, but until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.